If you've been struggling to get pregnant for a while now and you really don't have any real answers as to why, then this episode is for you. Welcome to the Finally Get Pregnant Naturally podcast, the podcast helping women identify the real reasons you haven't conceived or stayed pregnant so you and your partner can finally grow the family of your dreams. I'm your host, Dr. Katie Wood. Let's dive in, shall we? The three things you'll learn from this episode: what it's like to navigate nearly a decade of unexplained infertility, and why normal labs don't always mean everything is actually functioning optimally. How addressing deeper root causes like insulin resistance, stress, and lifestyle patterns can shift fertility in ways conventional care often overlooks, and how small, sustainable changes, not extreme diets or complicated protocols, can help bring the body back into balance and support natural conception. Hello. I'm here with one of my clients, Elizabeth, and I'm just really excited to talk about where she was when we started working together and where she is today. So, Elizabeth is pregnant with baby number two, and I couldn't be more excited for her. And I just want to take us kind of rewind back to where you were in 2022 when we started working together. What would you say was your biggest fertility struggle, and what did your fertility journey look like before we started working together?
Definitely. Thank you, Katie, for taking the opportunity to ask. So, one of my biggest fertility struggles, obviously, was being unsuccessful for getting pregnant. And, my husband and I had been together for 10 years at that point, and I hadn't been able to get pregnant for over 9 years. I had irregular heavy periods, weight gain, and I suspected that I had PCOS. And despite like the OBGYNs testing all my hormones, nothing seemed to work.
Mm-hmm. And what were your doctors telling you at that point, if you can remember?
So they told me all my hormones were in normal range. They did a transvaginal ultrasound. They said everything looked normal. They said that, I shouldn't have any problems getting pregnant. So basically, it was unexplainable infertility at that point.
Mm-hmm. And how did that make you feel when that was pretty much the only answers that they could give you?
Frustrated. And like prior to that, I had sustained like concussion from work, and I was already kind of frustrated with conventional medicine at that point, and how they operate for medicines at you trying to fix problems, and it doesn't work without finding like the root cause. And so from that appointment in 2013, where they told me, like everything was normal, I had started to research different natural options. So I had tried, maca root, chasteberry, anything I could find, like nothing diet wise worked. I tried keto, I tried paleo, I tried just being grain free, gluten free, like nothing really worked to help resolve the issues I was having.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can only imagine how disheartening and frustrating that was, just going along such a lengthy journey trying to figure out what is going on and what could work for you specifically. So, when you were considering working together, did you have a specific problem or challenge in mind that you wanted help with?
So obviously infertility was one of them. But the other thing was I knew that I had high blood sugars and insulin resistance because of the suspected PCOS. And so that was also one of my things is I wanted to be healthy when I got pregnant. And so that way I could sustain a healthy pregnancy to have a natural delivery.
Hmm. Absolutely. So really looking at the full picture, not just about getting a positive pregnancy test, but thinking a few steps beyond that and wanting to put in the effort and work to be able to prepare your body for a beautiful, healthy pregnancy and birth, like you said.
Right, absolutely.
Amazing. So, what would you say drew you to working with me specifically over any other fertility coach or program?
So I don't remember exactly how I came across the Facebook group that you have, but I was in that Facebook group for some time and watching like your posts come through. You'd offered a few free classes. And so finally I jumped on to one of those free classes. And I don't remember exactly what one it was, but I just resonated with your personality, your calm demeanor, like just your positive approach to things where you have this energy that jives with being positive, brings in positivity, and helps your body to naturally heal.
Mm. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's beautiful. And when you were deciding, like, okay, I'm gonna jump from this free class that I offered to actually working with Katie, would you say that there was anything that almost prevented you from signing up? Was there any hesitancy, fear, doubt, finances, lack of time, just anything that came up for you?
So there's obviously always those fears and doubts because I tried so many other programs and I don't know, spent thousands of dollars along the way, I'm sure, in different things. But one of them was we were a one income family at that time and struggling financially. So finances was definitely a big thing of being able to pay for this new program and convincing my husband that it was, worth it after he watched me pay for so many others and nothing happened after.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, that doubt and fear of, is this actually going to be the thing that's going to work? And especially when you've tried so many other things and they didn't give you the results that you were looking for, it can almost be like PTSD from buying and trying new things, right?
Definitely. It's almost like, doing diets. Like you go through, you try Weight Watchers, you try this one, you pay for this plan, you pay for this plan, and in the end, like, there may be one plan that ends up working, but you tried through all these different things that promise to be successful and none of them were.
Hmm. Absolutely. So, what would you say was the deciding factor that where you and your husband decided, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to sign up with Katie?
I definitely think it was that free class and just resonating with your demeanor and that, like getting pregnant and having a family, we were getting older. I was 30 yeah, 33 at the time. So we weren't, fresh young chickens getting pregnant for the first time. So it was really important for me to be able to get my health back in order to potentially be pregnant.
Mhm.
So that was what helped us to be able to decide on that.
Yeah, beautiful. And so you have your first child, a healthy boy, and now you're expecting your second. And I'm not sure if I know the sex. Is it another boy or are you guys going to be surprised?
It is another boy.
It is another boy. Okay. And they're actually kind of funny. They're going to have, they have similar due dates, don't they? You got pregnant around the same time of year, both
I
times.
I did, yeah. So fall tends to be my fertility period, apparently.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So, how would you say that, initially starting your family and now expanding your family, how has that changed your life?
So definitely. So I have, a 20-month-old son who I love and adore, and I get to be a stay-at-home mom like I always dreamed of for the last 11 years. And for those last 11 years, I've been planning on being a homeschool mom as well. And
Mhm.
that wasn't really a possibility until I had a child. And so following like your steps helped me align my body, not to be perfect, but like my blood sugars and stuff weren't where I exactly had planned on when I got pregnant. And I wasn't expecting to be able to get pregnant that quickly following, those routines. But so after 9 years of infertility, why would this one change with you work in such a short period of time? But here I am, with a 21-month-old son and 10 weeks away from having our second son.
So exciting. I'm so excited for you guys and just to be able to watch from afar through social media. And I love seeing everything that you're doing on your farm at home, your homestead, and just sharing your passion for, natural minded motherhood because you and I share a lot of the same values in terms of all of that and homeschooling. And so I'm just so excited. And just to wrap this up, if someone was considering working with me, but maybe they're on the fence, maybe they're experiencing some of those fears or the doubts that you were, or maybe finance is an issue, or they feel that they don't have time to make this program work, what would you tell them?
So I would tell them after 9 years of infertility and conventional medicine failing me left and right, and the natural things for the last 10 years failing me without the help of you, that the small changes that I made from your suggestions, and they were very small. And that was like one of the biggest things is, you know, you have to climb the ladder one step at a time and take your time doing it, or you're not going to be successful. And so I think that was the biggest thing is, and having grace. Like that was the one thing that you taught me is having grace. Like this isn't a race. It's a journey to get to, that point. And you're going to have times where you take a step back on that ladder and it's okay. And to have grace with yourself when you do that. And so when I was working to get my body healthy in 2022, that was the biggest thing is I wasn't eating healthy. I never took time for myself, which I still struggle with today, but I now understand and know what that does to my body because of those small changes that I made back then of just taking 10 minutes a day for myself to meditate and making those small changes in diet. It wasn't like I had this life altering change permanently in my diet to be successful. So I would
Mhm.
say that, through the help of you and support of you, it was an easy enough program that I didn't have to spend hours a week doing these changes. And if I went out to dinner with friends and had, a glass of wine, I didn't feel guilty afterwards because I allowed myself that grace that this is part of normal life. And sometimes we can have those things, but not all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your story. And again, I'm just so excited to see this next chapter for you and your family.
Thank you, Katie, and thank you for allowing me the time to share. And I hope that this helps all the women out there that are struggling.
Me too. Thank you. Elizabeth's story is such a powerful reminder that infertility is rarely just luck of the draw or something you simply have to accept. It's not your destiny. For years, she was told everything looked normal, yet her body was clearly showing signs that something deeper was going on, from irregular cycles to insulin resistance and suspected PCOS. Once we began focusing on supporting her body at the root level, like improving blood sugar balance, reducing stress, nourishing her body, and making small but meaningful lifestyle shifts, her body began to respond. And after nearly 9 years of trying, she welcomed her first baby boy and is now expecting baby number two, both naturally conceived. Her story is proof that fertility journeys don't always require extreme or overwhelming changes, and sometimes the most powerful shifts happen through consistent, supportive steps that help your body return to balance. If Elizabeth's story resonated with you at all, if you're like, yep, that sounds familiar, and you feel like you've been told, everything looks normal, but you're still not getting the answers you need. You're still not getting that positive pregnancy test. Or maybe you've had recurrent miscarriages and you still don't know why. This is exactly the kind of work I help women navigate inside my one-on-one Fertile as a Mother program. Together, we look deeper at the root causes that may be impacting your fertility, from hormones and metabolism to stress, inflammation, and overall lifestyle patterns, just to name a few. If you'd like support identifying what might be blocking your fertility and creating a clear, focused path forward, I invite you to book a free fertility strategy call with me. We'll talk about your journey, what you've already tried, and whether working together would be the right next step for you so you can finally have your healthy baby in your arms. You can find the link to apply for a call in the show notes. And until next time, remember your body isn't broken. Sometimes it just needs the right support to do what it is designed to do. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you on our next episode, released every Tuesday and Thursday. Are you ready to finally discover why you haven't been able to get or stay pregnant? The Ultimate Fertility Blueprint is a quick, insightful quiz designed to reveal your overall capacity to conceive and help you discover potential root causes and areas to address to improve your fertility so you can finally get and stay pregnant. You'll find the link in the show notes. As a quick reminder and disclaimer, this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice. Always consult your doctor or healthcare provider before starting any new supplement or protocol, especially if you're actively trying to conceive or undergoing treatment.